Hey, we're back for another interview, but there's no one here. What's going on? I think we're going to take a little trip over to another vehicle and do a little guest car interview. Hang on one second. Hey, who's this?
Hi.
Hey. So we're here with
Tim Sway. That's
at TSP and NPMWHQ.
Oh, I like that. I never added that because the way I see it, this is TSPWHQ, Tim Sway Perspectives World Headquarters. But then I started New Perspectives Music, my guitar company. I wanted it to be separate, like from the furniture and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I wanted to keep the word Perspectives rather than my name, blah blah blah. But the way I see it is all a subsidiary of Tim Sway Perspectives LLC. Don't forget those letters.
Gotcha. So just add all the acronyms in, right?
Because you look at a guy like me and you go, well, there's a savvy businessman, that guy.
That's right.
That's.
So you've been doing this for a while, and Tim here is a reclaimed guy. That's his MO, is reclaimed everything, I would say, right? Just about.
Yeah, just about. I mean, I end up buying some plywood, of course, from time to time. And
right.
But lately, I started that way partly for the aesthetic, and it was in at the time, and it's still in to some extent. But really, what I'm leaning more towards now is it's about being eco-conscious. So it doesn't have to be reclaimed for me; it has to be eco-conscious now. So I'm using a lot of like locally felled stuff. I'm raiding firewood piles and stuff like that too.
Right.
Because these trees you can see in the background when they die, I can cut those up and make stuff out of them, and that's more eco-friendly than driving 20 miles down the road to a barn.
For sure.
So I'm trying to do more of that, like stuff that's en route, and it's not just reclaim, but it's definitely economic or eco-conscious. Economically conscious it's not, because I'm not making any money.
So in the past you've done a lot of furniture, decor, that kind of stuff, but you have a new business now, as you mentioned, in guitars. Can you tell us a little bit about the guitars and what you've been working on, what your mission is with it?
Yeah. Well, I got introduced to woodworking because I was a musician and I wanted to make my own guitar like a million years ago. And I was renting an apartment from a cabinet maker. And I said, no, I want to make my own guitar. And he said, you're nuts. He's like, that's too much work. You can never do it. And so I said, okay, he knows. He has all this tools and this, he knows what he's doing. A couple weeks later, I walked by his shop and he's got this piece of wood cut in the shape of a guitar on his bench. And I was like, what the hell? And he's like, I read some books. I think I can do this. So I jumped in and I didn't know how to use any of the tools. I didn't even know what they were called. And we made a couple guitars together. And that was where I started learning about woodworking and stuff. And then, I ended up moving out and not, until many, many years later, I started building shops and getting back into woodworking. And after a while, I was like, oh, I can make guitars again. Like, I know how to use these tools and I know what they're called now. And so now I'm kind of getting back full circle.
Good stuff. What I really like about what you're doing is you're kind of standing all the common tales of guitar building on their head about tone wood and construction methods, and there's a lot of lack of progress and change there, and people that don't want to try new things. And I really like that you're starting to do that.
Yeah, I try to do that with a lot of stuff. I was like that as a kid. I'm sure a lot of us were, where you wake up and or you're a kid and you say, like, well, why is it like that? And people just say, well, that's the way it is. And well, why? And so I need to learn for myself why it is. So a lot of times I end up walking things back. And I'm like, oh, there's a reason they do it this way, because it works really well, and all these other things I tried sucked. That happens a lot. And like Dave Gagne coined the term for me, the timsway.net, the things on my hat here. Oh no, I fell off. The path of most resistance that I follow, and that's just how I learn. And so absolutely, that's what I'm like, well, does it really have to be African cocobolo, or can it be this tree that just fell down back there? Can I make it out of that? Is it going to sound different? And I of course share videos on that and piss off the guitar nerds.
Of course, it doesn't matter. You can make a guitar out of 2x4s and it sounds just fine.
Yeah, for the most part. 99%. You know what? My answer to people is, if they want to make their guitar sound better, is to practice.
Yep.
That's how you make your guitar sound better. And
right.
It's practice. It has nothing to do with what it's made of.
So, Tim, you're also kind of known for your old yellow truck, and we're not sitting in that anymore. Do you want to talk about this for a minute? No, yeah. My truck is still in my driveway at home. It's the rust is starting to get to her, and so she's for sale. I'm slowly for sale, I guess. I'm dragging my feet on it. Kind of a rare combination of features on that truck. Am I right?
Well, yeah.
Or is it like a certain cab and certain bed or something like that?
Well, it's a 72 Chevy K10 short bed, which is very desirable. But it turns out that the VIN number is actually not a short bed. It's because it's like two trucks that have been merged together. So that instantly makes it less valuable to the people in that market, because if they want to restore it and take it to Barrett's auto auction and get $60,000 for it, they can't because of that VIN number.
But it's very, very valuable because it is the notorious Tim Sway's truck. I would assume, right? So people are going to buy it because of its celebrity association.
I think rust is rust.
Okay, trying to throw you a bone here.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it.
We're sitting here.
I still might keep it though. I'm not sure. I mean, I might pay someone to do the serious rust repair and then slowly, because Vance will be 16 in 8 years. So.
Right, but we're sitting in a Honda. That was imported from Japan, and that's why the steering wheel's on this side. Because
when I was looking for a replacement for Old Yeller, I knew that nothing would compare to her. Like, I couldn't go out and get some other just truck, So I had to get something out of the ballpark. So I was looking at getting a smaller truck to be more fuel efficient, and most of the time I don't need a truck that big. So I was like, well, what can I get that's more fuel efficient? I was looking at like Chevy S10s and like Dodge Dakotas, and then I was looking at the Toyota Tacomas and stuff, and they're all just leaving me bored. And then I discovered that if you get one of these Japanese, they're called key trucks, if they're more than 25 years old, you can register them and drive them on the road, and it's not boring. It definitely, what it lacks in horsepower, it makes up for in fun, and it's just
miles per gallon.
Oh my god, yeah, it's just so much fun to drive around the wrong side of the car, right side of the road with the wrong side of the car, and watch people do double takes and get 30 miles to the gallon with a full-size pickup bed.
This is kind of part of your mantra too, so it's pretty cool that you stick with it.
It does make more sense. Like, all the good I did in the past with trying to save the earth, like, it all just went in my tailpipe of my old truck. So now I'm like kind of driving something that matches more of my mission, I guess.
Yeah. Well, I hope people will check you out. I'm going to put links to all of your stuff in the description, and there'll probably be a pop-up here or there somewhere. Look for that.
Right on, man.
Tim's awesome. He's got a great channel. Go check him out.
It's good to see you. I'm glad you stopped by on your way through.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Neighbor.
2 hour away neighbor.
Yeah, close enough. Well, for me, it's like about 4 hours away now, but.
Oh, yeah. And this. Sure.
I'm better off walking.
All right. Thanks for stopping by, guys.
All right, man. Be good.